Welcome to Ziro Studio tutorial. In this video, we will teach you the concept of functions in Python. So far, we used functions that were provided to you as part of the Studio that are listed in the Help menu. In this lesson, we will write our own functions. To do that, let's start with this Hello World example that we used earlier. As you know, it just simply prints Hello World in the console. Let's modify this to use our own function. So let's call it myPrint. And it takes a string as a parameter. Parameters are inputs that we pass to functions. Just like the print function, let's make our version of the print function take a string as a parameter. Now in this case, it is the string that we want to print, str. Now we define our function, which is a second function apart from main, using the same kind of syntax. If you run this now, you can see that it printed Hello World. So that's how you can create your own functions. Functions are a great way to write reusable blocks of code so you don't have to keep rewriting that code again and again. Now let's show an example of our own functions for the robot. For that, let's go to Examples and select the square code. As you can see, it uses a loop, which we haven't covered yet, so let's use a version that doesn't use loops. It calls our own function called DrawInTurn, which is already typed for you. This function takes size as the input parameter, and it simply moves the robot forward at a speed equal to size for 5 seconds and turns left at a speed of 90 for 1 second. So it simply moves the robot forward and turns left 90 degrees. We draw a square by calling this 4 times. So it draws a side, turns 90 degrees, and draws the next side, and so on 4 times. In our example, we use a value of 100 for size. Please note that we will use this DrawInTurn function in various forms throughout the lessons. So now let's run it. So it goes forward, turns 90 degrees, goes forward again, turns 90 degrees, goes forward, turns 90 degrees again, and goes forward. And you notice that in our own functions, we call the robot functions given in the Studio. So that's how you create your own functions using the robot functions. Now, let's give you an exercise to do on your own. Modify the DrawInTurn function to take 2 parameters instead, one for speed and one for angle. You can do that by simply separating the parameters using a comma. And then use this function to draw a triangle instead of a square. If you are feeling more adventurous, try drawing a pentagon and a hexagon using the 3D robot.